Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Saucnwes, bringing it back with that quality ass content. First off, I'd like to thank you guys so much for helping me reach 27 subscribers last month. It really means a lot to me. So make sure you smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll keep bringing you some of that content I know you guys know and love. So for today's video, I got a little life story for you guys, and it's about the time me and my boy Andy, shout out my man Andy, almost got ran the fuck over by a train. And it was almost exactly 2 years ago from today, and I'll go ahead and slide a clip of our reaction here on screen.
Yo!
We were tripping balls. You guys will never understand just how spooked we were that day. So it was a relatively normal day. I remember it was a Saturday, it was the evening, just copped some of that devil's lettuce. We'll say it's sage. Totally sage. And I remember we had some Gorilla Glue. It was the fire. It was so fire, man. It was the best sage in town. And me and my boy Andy were in search of some new smoke spots. Because, you know, if you've ever smoked at the same spot more than once, you know, it gets kind of boring, you know. You want to try some new, you know, you want to find some new places and explore a little bit, and that's what we were doing. And just to give you guys some background, 2017 was the year of sage in my lifetime. Like a metric fuck ton of sage. I said sage. I did not say the W word. I said sage. But yeah, I was running around smoking a lot of sage at the time, and it made for some really good memories and some really bad ones. But yeah, January 30th, it was around I want to say around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we had just finished up running up some Halo 5 at the time. We were really into Halo 5. We used to play the fuck out of that game, and we were bored. We weren't sure what to do, so I asked him, and I was like, hey man, you trying to roll up some sage and go somewhere? You trying to bowl out? You trying to get stony baloney? And he was like, heaven yeah man, where you trying to go? And I said, OG spot? And he was like, nah, train tracks. And I looked up at him and I was like, bet. So these train tracks are a little less than a mile from his house, and in order to get there, I remember we had to walk all the way to the edge of his neighborhood. It was, like I said, less than a mile, so it was relatively close. And I remember once we got to the edge of the neighborhood, we had to go through this apartment duplex's backyard and cut through these trees. And I remember there was thorns everywhere. I was getting cut up. I was like, ah shit. But we went up this hill in the tree line and went past this hobo house. It was kind of weird. It was like a tarp draped over some trees, and there was like clothes hanging out. It was really whack, but it was dope. It was cool. I mean, man's making a living. What can I say? But we finally get up to this train track, and I start taking off my bag and everything. I take off my jacket, lay it down. Andy takes off his bag, and we had a lot of stuff on us. Like I remember anytime we'd go on a smoke trip, we'd always bring a can of Pringles, something to munch on, you know. And we just started making ourselves at home on top of this train track. Like, we got no worries at all. Nothing in the world can stop us. Like, it was the move. And by this time, we have all of our glass pieces set up and out on the track. We got the whole setup with us, right? So I pack up some sage, let my man get the first rip off it because, you know, hey, respect. That's just how it be. And we're chiefing off this bowl pretty hard. Like, we're probably about 10 or 15 minutes go by. We don't even realize. And Stony Saucnwes was like, hey man, take a pic real quick. And he was like, alright, bet. Hold still. And it was actually a pretty dope picture, you know. We had the sun in the background, all on the train tracks. We had the pieces laying out here. Yeah. And then I take another Mac off the sage. I inhale. Exhale. And it was about that time when something didn't feel right. And as in something not feeling right, I mean my ass vibrating. And it's about that time when I look over at Andy, and he's like, what? And I'm just like, oh shit. Now you're probably wondering as to how we didn't see this fucking train coming head on right at us like beforehand, like sooner. Well, let me explain. The train track turns into the tree line that we were sitting next to, so we couldn't see. Like, where it was going to be coming from, or if it was going to be coming from the left or the right. Like, we didn't know. And we had to act fast, man. We were like, this train is 200 yards away from us. We have all of our shit laying out on the train tracks. The Pringles are open. The bowls are out, man. Like, what are we doing? We need to move. This all happened in a matter of 30 seconds, by the way. So we start throwing everything into our bags. I remember I grabbed the sage, I throw it into my bag. He's grabbing our jackets, he's throwing them just right off the edge of the train track onto the rocks. And by now, this train's probably like 10 seconds away, like, no kidding, 10 seconds away. And we end up accidentally leaving the Pringles on the train track. And Andy's like, the Pringles. And I'm like, the Pringles. So I run all the way back up these rocks. I grab the Pringles. Pringles are flying everywhere. The lid's not on it. And I like do a jump all the way down these rocks. Like, I'm honestly surprised I didn't end up breaking a fucking leg from that jump. Like, that was a far ass jump. But we end up clearing the train tracks. And Andy's on the other side. I'm on one side. And we just look at each other under the train track and we just start laughing so hard. And that's when I pull out my phone and I take that video from the beginning. We did, however, end up losing the lids of the Pringles. Like, as soon as the train passed by, the Pringles lid goes flying in the air. And it was such a memorable moment for us both. And I remember after this train finishes passing through or whatever, I meet back up with Andy on top of the train tracks and we just look at each other, baked as fuck, like, wow, that actually just happened. That's a life story. And so, that was the story of how me and Andy almost got ran over by a fucking train. Baked as fuck, by the way, and survived. So be sure to leave a like and comment if you enjoyed the video. I'll be posting more on here often, hopefully in the next coming week. And subscribe for more. Peace.
Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go.